Hey YouTube, Daniel here from the home of Random Productions 2.0 with another video. I hope everyone's been well. In the last video, I uploaded saying that we've kind of brought the world back to the past and went back to January 1st, 2021 to be exact, as there were some glitches in the world and just a bunch of changes that didn't fit what the old world used to be, and I wasn't a big fan of all the changes. So we went back to kind of the old aesthetics of things. Um, so, a couple of the losses, and that was a Home Depot, which we had to rebuild. Welcome to Home Depot 2.0. I did tell you guys I was going to work on installing a fully addressable system in here, as the previous Home Depot was just conventional. So addressable, as well as it didn't have a sprinkler system. So this one will have a sprinkler system as well as be fully addressable. So it's a bit more complicated. So all this stuff you see up here is part of the sprinkler system, and it's broken up into different zones. So the center point breaking a zone 1, zone 2, for example, and then same thing on this side, zone 3, zone 4, whatever the case may be. This here is the audio riser. This is just part of the sprinkler. Still a lot of work to be done, but slowly moving along. I did complete one side of the audibles and strobes. Pole stations still need to be completed. This side's the next audibles and strobes. There's quite a bit going on here. This is kind of what the ceiling looks like now. These are the dispensers, which contain a water bucket inside of them, which will allow for water to be released upon activation of a sprinkler block, call it that. And then the floor below, same concept as the top. You got observers, repeaters, redstones, etc. Observers essentially sense movement in front of them, so if this block is broken, it will send a signal to activate the fire system. But given the instability of observers and like pulsing twice and sending random redstone signals, it can, screw up a circuit that isn't meant to be spontaneously powered 2 pulses relatively quickly. Below the Home Depot is the main fire alarm control panel room, and here is like zone 1 sprinkler with activation and riser. Same thing on the other side, same thing in that far corner there, that too. This all down here is one side of the Home Depot's strobes as well as audio activation, and the same thing will apply on this side. For testing purposes, I've set this up just to show you the audio working. And then that's very fast. If you change the speed, you can kind of stop fighting. Slow it down. Give it a second. So now it's slow. So that's one thing I'm working on, is the 2 stages, to have a stage 1 and a stage 2 tone, as well as this is the strobe. So much like the audibles, the strobes act the same way. I don't think there's remotely any way to get them to be in sync unless I'm using command blocks and some other kind of stuff, but this build is specifically to not be done with command blocks. The only thing I would probably use a command block is just for a total world announcement, so people know in the game, like a text box, that there has been a device activation. But for the most part, this is meant to be non-hackable, simple builds for people that want to build it in the world. Given the Home Depot is really big, I'll have to have the fire alarm control panel like just about here in the middle to accommodate the chunk ratio, where like a redstone activation will stop at a specific point because it's just too far. So I'm believing the middle should be the perfect point for that. So we'll have an annunciator here, part of the main fire alarm control panel, as well as an annunciator upstairs. I am also still working on the addressable loop and figuring out how I'm going to get that to be communicating in the annunciators as well. So that's still in the works. That's why it's kind of taking me some time, but then also I just get bored and kind of move on to next things. Another thing I recently learned, and feel like this was needed, was I worked on my friend Steven's building, a buddy of mine who passed away back in September 2nd of 2017 unexpectedly. So we created a memoriam and all that stuff years ago, and I just felt that as of recently it wasn't enough to kind of keep his legacy and memory going. And he did play a big part into the world you sort of see today, but back in the day, from the August or April 2014 I should say, with like the tunnels, the carts, a couple of builds and things like that. So I learned recently how to incorporate photos, like actual photos, as well as kind of modify specific discs in the game to play specific songs that you upload to it. So I'm gonna go into the room below here, which is the note block room of the memoriam. And these note blocks were programmed to play See You Again, the note block version. We also did some upgrades with the electrical. This circuit's no longer being needed, as there's no longer an auto looper thing. As a previous video about this, I did add the timed circuit thingy because I added push buttons into the building across, which is Steven's original building, to be able to activate the music, as well as the push button at the entrance. And if people send too many redstone pulses, it A, messes up the note blocks, and B, it just doesn't work out well. So this timer circuit will inhibit that from happening. So these blocks, this block specifically and this block, will be popped out of the way once there's activation done. And then I also have stairs here now and stairs here leading to a room above. The memoriam used to be taller, and now it's been decommissioned to its original height. And in here has the original waterfall and lighting circuit, but also a few things. For example, thanks to Image Map 3, we were able to upload photos of Steven and friends and things like that, and put it throughout this building we're in now, as well as the original building Steven had built way back in the day, back in 2014. So this is like the ceiling photo, which is in the memoriam below us. This is a single tile photo. This is a double tile photo, and then here on this side is a triple tile photo, which and then in these chests have the original upload, and then you'll see these maps are actual photos, and groups of 1 through 5 is references for the computer of a folder I have, so you can, if someone accidentally broke a photo, you can kind of pin it back to where it was. And that thanks to HTG George, that kind of gave a tutorial on how to upload your own music into Minecraft, which is great because we were able to modify one of the discs and put See You Again. The good thing about this is I was also able to work with my music editing software and putting Steven's voice from previously saved voice messages in the beginning and ending of the song. And then Kale Otts taught the jukebox looper thing, because apparently redstone signals don't just turn on jukeboxes, so you need a dropper and a couple of hoppers for that. So upon activation from the pressure switch in the room below, as well as the building across, which is push buttons, it will activate the jukebox to play. So I'll go downstairs and kind of show you that. And for privacy reasons, I'm not just going to show pictures. Oh, wrong floor. I gotta go this way. Out to the main hall. Shelterini that way. This is Steven's memoriam. Just gonna look down. An example of an uploaded photo would be like something like this. This was on like a table at the funeral where people got to write a final thing. There's like my writing, and then there's like our call out for DJing. But if we go here and push the pressure plate, the note block music will start. These circuits will lock out, and we'll walk with this. And I'm gonna go over here just just to show you what it looks like when the song ends.
My name is Steven. My number is 24. And I'll be back. Thank you.
It's been... So for copyright reasons, I stopped the music. But yeah, it plays like a 2-minute loop, 2-minute version of "See You Again," along with Steven's voice being played in between. So I feel like this was a cool way to kind of just keep his memory alive, and for those of us that are on the realm can go to if you're thinking of him and whatnot. And yeah, in addition to that, like I said, I'll show you the riser for the buttons. So the bridge I made wider. Remember, this is the original building. This is the addition we made for the memoriam, and the tunnel is an addition. So I just created this raceway with some observers, and then there's buttons sporadically throughout each floor, floors 3 to 8. And then over here has a repeater lockout circuit, because again, Redstone's with their 2 pulses per sensor, it really messes up that timed circuit thing. And yeah, so hopefully you guys like this video and continue following me on this fun YouTube journey, as well as all the updates the fire alarm system has coming soon to it. And thanks for watching as always. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye for now. Daniel out.